fingers crossed, YouTube, please go through. Okay, so it says we're live. I'm hoping that this is true. And the comments already popping up, which makes me so happy. I feel like it's been 1 year since we've done a live stream together, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say, so if y'all don't know this woman, I absolutely adore her. And again, I just said y'all, and it's vintage y'all, and I'm saying y'all. Y'all, you need to know Colleen. She is awesome, and I have her information here. So she's no longer on Twitter. I found that out today when I went to tag her, and I wasn't able to, but she's still on Instagram, and here's her information. So if you want to look up her information, please do, because she talks all about cozy mysteries. She's even doing something new where she has themes with cozy mysteries. So I'm very happy to have her back tonight. She is so sweet to talk to, and she enjoyed the book, so I'm betting it's going to be a great conversation. So welcome to Colleen.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I this is the third Halloween sort of or supernatural themed, I should say, chat that we've had together. And so 1 year it was witches. And now this year it's ghosts. So I wore these ghost earrings, you can see, and also my Haunted Mansion shirt. You may recognize the pattern. Angela's got a ghost shirt. And then this is a Haunted Mansion headband, actually. You can kind of see like some of the characters from Haunted Mansion. So we're on theme tonight.
And happy Halloween, everybody. We got the balloon here, which is cut out of the, it's hard to tell when you crop things, but we had the balloon here. And then I have Boonard right there with the little book. And so we have another little thing right over there. So you get a little ghost in the keeping track with the library. So we're trying to have fun tonight.
Yay!
Oh, and I almost forgot my pillow.
Oh my gosh, that is so cute.
So if you guys are not familiar with Emily Cromwell designs, this is Boonard. Oh, that's the name of the ghost that she designs, Boonard. I'm like, okay, that is adorable. I need to have this. We have a ghost for the book. I'm like, I even if it's not on camera the whole time and I use it for my lower back, I needed to have this for the night.
That is adorable. Oh my gosh.
And then I used her notebook when I was taking notes tonight. So all the spooky, fun Halloween vibes.
Nice. I'm going to have to check her stuff out. That looks really cute.
Oh, so you just reminded me, and I don't want to forget, because so tonight I looked this up, and I'm not getting any kickbacks, or I'm not, promoting her. I just really like her stuff. So tonight she has a sale for her Halloween materials. So I think all of her Halloween items are either 25 or 35% off, but then everything else. So I told her I was going to do this. So she actually created a code for me. So anything else that's non-Halloween related, you can save 15% with Angela15. So I wanted to make sure I told you guys about that tonight. And so one of the reasons I was in contact with her was also because one of the big reveals, again, you guys are here on Halloween night. You're taking Halloween and celebrating it with us. I was like, I got to tell them the reveals. So one of the reveals, magnetic bookmarks. Emily Cromwell is printing them up for us. So Perlock Holmes, she's going to be on a magnetic bookmark. Moriarty for Christmas, he's going to be on a bookmark. So magnetic bookmark. So Emily Cromwell's printing those for us. So that was when I started, really getting in touch with her. So there's the code. We have Boonard tonight. So all the fun stuff.
Yay, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh, everyone's so cute in the comments. They're all popping up now. Oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. You guys are so cute, and happy Halloween to you. I know, I wish this was maybe I can get it closer behind me. We'll see, but I'm hoping you guys are having a very happy Halloween. This is so cute with all the comments. Oh yes, and so again, Colleen, insta-love with her Oh my goodness. So tonight we have If You've Got It, Haunt It. And yes, those are little spooky post-it notes along the sides.
Oh my gosh.
Going the extra mile.
I love it.
So I'm going to kick it off and ask, what did you think of this month's book? What would the star rating be? Did you love it? Did you have opinions? What did you think of If You've Got It, Haunt It by Rose Pressey?
So I thought it was fun. And my daughter read it with me. Some of you know that my daughter often reads cozy mysteries with me, and she also enjoyed it. We both thought it was funny. There was a lot of humor. So I think this is a good one. And if you're wanting humor in a cozy mystery, and it was also the ghost aspect really made it unique. I think that premise made it different, than a lot of cozy mysteries where there's just this lady and she investigates. It wasn't just that, there was a ghost, and the ghost was sassy and is the reason for trying to solve the mystery, but is also kind of a conflict because she annoys her and things like that. So I think that made it unique. Yeah. So I'll say overall, I know my daughter rated it 5 stars. I would not, but I still thought it was fun. So yeah, that's what I'll say so far.
Oh yeah, we have a little bit of a range with ratings tonight. So we have 24% at 5 stars, 48% with 4 stars is winning, but there are still 24% with 3, and one person said either 1 or 2 stars, or maybe more than one person, but it's 5%. So across the board, right there with the ratings. And I did just I have my little notes. And because y'all have already tuned in and we're starting to get in discussion, I do have a little fun reveal at the end of the night. So if you stay the whole time, there is going to be a special reveal and everyone's going to get this item. But in order to qualify, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask y'all to type in the comments. I'm going to give you a keyword at the beginning and at the end. So we're going to bookmark it. So the very first comment is spooky, SPOOKY. So if you guys want to take a minute to just comment the word spooky, so I can double check later when you guys send me an email with your mailing address, I know exactly where you are, what you commented, and we have everything on the up and up. So if you want to, I'm going to just do it like I mean, you can even throw in a ghost emoji if you want, but I have a little keyword. And so at the end of the night, I'm going to give you a second keyword. So hopefully that will make everything very easy and you guys can have fun and go crazy with all the ghost emojis if you want with your comment. But this will make it easy, hopefully, to double check to make sure, like, yes, they did stay the whole time. Just want to take a moment before I forgot about that, because that will happen when we start talking about books. Get sidetracked a little bit. But so she gave it 5 stars, and other people are kind of like, okay, I'm with Colleen, we're not loving this book, but it's like, well, you like it, you enjoy it, but it's not your 5-star read.
Right. What about you?
I enjoyed the book. So I thought it was interesting with the writing style, because I thought the chapters were very concise, I think is the word I'm going to go with. She was very direct. They were short. And there's something kind of fun about this one in regards to there being a short suspect list. So you pretty much had a 33% chance of getting it right. You kind of only had 3 main suspects. So the odds were, this wasn't the Hunger Games. Like, may the odds ever be in your favor. The odds were in your favor with this one. You could kind of narrow it down a little bit. So I didn't really mind that. I did guess who the killer was. And I was a little bit... Yeah, the motivation was kind of clear once things were, the little puzzle pieces were easier to put together with this one. But I didn't really mind that because I liked the main character. And I'm sorry, but we had a psychic cat here. We got to talk about
that. Right? Like, when do you see that? That's different. And I mean, my child won't read it if it doesn't have a cat. So it had a cat, and that was not just any cat. The cat was doing Ouija boards and tarot cards, and that's pretty unique. And she really liked it.
So I know one of these little Post-it marks is, okay, here it is. So on page 107 in the paperback, no more cheap cat food. That was the very first message with the Ouija board. And I lost my mind because I thought that was absolutely hysterical.
Yeah.
When you mentioned humor, I'm going, yep. Because even little moments that had kind of, I don't want to say nothing to do with the overarching mystery, but played into just the characters and details. So in one of the chapters, we had Edna. And I remember the name Edna because I always think of The Incredibles with Edna, with the costume designer.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Edna, who was doing the antiques, where she was the checkout one at the first with the estate sale. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So the very first estate sale, and then the second estate sale, she goes, "Did that crazy woman, what did you think about her?" And you have the ghost going, "She's not talking about me." Like, even a throwaway line like that brightened me, and like I was laughing. I'm going, "Oh, this is great." So even just fun little moments like that where gave it a little extra for me in the book.
Yeah. I saw, speaking of the humor and the extra moments, I saw Jess mention that she did the audiobook, and the audiobook narration was really good. And I agree with that. Like the performance was really solid. So that then made the humor even better because she was really in character and, bringing the different characters to life. So yeah.
I have to say, so I went back to use the paperback copy. I love how I said back twice in that sentence. Went back, just came back. That's some sort of rhyme right there, playing with the puns. But I listened to the audio as well, and I really was impressed too. I don't know who this narrator was, but she needs to narrate a whole bunch of other cozy mysteries, because she even did the different voices, but she did it in a way where I wasn't annoyed or I'm going, oh, you're trying too hard, sweetie, or okay, now every character sounds exactly the same. But I think it was harder too for her, because she had to navigate that Southern accent without making it sound sometimes people take it too far, where they're kind of making it almost a mockery of the accent. But she did it in such a way where it felt authentic, and I appreciated that it wasn't the same for every character. Yes, it had that Southern twang, but it wasn't overly done with each character, and each of them had their kind of own way of pronouncing certain words. So I was going, okay, this woman knows what she's doing. All, 2 thumbs up just to her.
Yeah, no, I agree. A lot of people sounds like liked the cat. I'm noticing. Interesting point that Crystal was saying. I wish they would have said if the ghost was her familiar or her grandmother sent the cat to her. Yeah, I feel like there's still more mystery to come about the cat. I feel like there's more for us to learn there for sure. Dill's my pickle. Sharon was saying that was one line. There were fun wordings, that made it just not a run of the mill, like, oh, it sounds like everything else. It did, the style did stand out. Yeah,
I think that was when you mentioned before, I think that's what made it unique for me. And I had a moment, actually, I had to go back and look up the years of the books, because we read Death Overdue by Marilyn Levinson, aka Alison Brooks, I should say. And she has a ghost in the library who's also able to change her clothes. And at the time I'm going, this is so unique. Oh, I didn't read this before. And so I'm going, oh, this book actually came out first, because last time when I was reading Death Overdue, I'm thinking, oh, there's nothing else like this. The ghost changing her fashion statement every day. And now I know where Marilyn either got her inspiration, or Rose gets to say she was there first. I was very impressed with that.
And that kind of segues into, obviously, clothing and fashion are a big part of this book. The ghost can change her clothes and look fabulous every day. And obviously our main character owns a vintage clothing store and is really into vintage stuff, has a 1948 Buick, dresses in vintage clothing every day. So that is definitely a unique aspect of the book. And it looks like in the comments, some people liked that and some people didn't connect to it as much. For me, I just thought it was, I thought it was nice for it to have something different. And fashion kind of ended up being sort of part of solving the mystery too. So I liked that.
I just saw this comment and I was smiling. You love the narrator in the audiobook, even though you didn't like the book. You're going, the narrator did a good job.
That can happen. Like, you can appreciate, like, wow, they're selling this. I might not agree with this book entirely, but this person is selling it. Yeah, no, I could see that.
I do think it was cute that the fashion, it was interwoven within the mystery itself, because sometimes we have cozy mysteries that are themed, but the theme will end up on the sidelines. You're going, okay, so there might be, I'm just going to throw out a random example. I'm not throwing any book under the bus here, but if there's a coffee, like the coffee shop, instead of having the character drink the coffee and poison and die, or, something, like all of a sudden there's the person who owns the coffee shop, the mystery's taking place somewhere else, and then they leave their shop to go sleuthing, and it's very much in the background. And so I liked that her shop and her love of fashion wasn't just on the sidelines. I mean, it played into everything, even her daily wardrobe selection. We got a full-on detailed breakdown of the shirt to the shoes, and then she had the purse that she changed every day. She really went for it with her fashion. I was impressed.
She sure does. Yep. She even got the detective into a new wardrobe too at one point. So
that was absolutely amazing. I was cracking up at the end. So this was okay, spoiler alert, very end of the book, he walks into the shop, our love interest for our leading lady, our sleuther. And again, he's Detective Valentine. So I think that last name kind of gives you the insight of, okay, he's a love interest.
Yeah,
he
right.
walks into the shop wearing the clothes that he bought from her. And it was so cute because she's going, oh, he looks really dapper.
Yeah.
He was like a giant Ken doll for her to dress up. And yes, I am using that Barbie reference on purpose.
Yeah, he was cute and he seemed nice. You know, obviously the detective love interest has been done in a few other cozies, maybe once or twice.
One or two.
Just maybe like, but I liked that their relationship was not they didn't have animosity toward each other. Yeah, he, I think, was wondering what the heck is going on with her, but I liked that it wasn't this like, you know, he was nice. He was nice to her. And so I appreciated that. I think that's a little different than sometimes happens.
I'm putting that as the poll. Detective Valentine, yes or no? Yeah. I guess. I don't know. I'm like, love him or somebody else. I'm just going to say yes or no and make that the poll. See how that goes. Because I thought he was so adorable. I really liked him as just, I don't even know how to describe it, because when you have the sleuther, sometimes they are the prime suspect and the detective sounds so ridiculous and so off base, and you're going, oh, and you're the love interest, but you think she's a killer. Oh yeah, this relationship is built on solid ground, and you're brilliant. So I love that she wasn't really a suspect, but yet you realize very quickly he's not just going there because he wants to ask her questions about what's happening in town. He wants to spend time with her. He did not have to buy clothing in her store, but he did.
Yeah, I agree.
Before they officially get kind of asked out for that walk at the end, I mean, he's going to spend time with her. He makes that effort, like he goes to her house when clearly he could have just sent her a text message or voicemail or something, but he went to her house. He was so cute.
He was super cute, which I think is one thing that both I kind of was frustrated by, and my daughter wanted me to share with everyone that she was frustrated by. She said she wished she had told the police things more and not kept things back from the police. That bothered her. And I think it bothers me more when it's clear that like he is a nice person and like he could be someone she could trust, but she's choosing not to. Now, I mean, I get that it might be tough to like explain that a ghost is talking to you. I won't judge that. But just, you know, some of the like tidbits that she wasn't sharing with him, you know, and then some of the decisions she made where she's like, yeah, let me just go to this person's house, you know, where he could have been he showed he cared about her and he wanted to help her. So, you know. That's just, it's one of those things that
that's a fair comment. I will say I was grateful she did mention to him, I think someone's following me, and he's going, I think they're following you. So he didn't always fully believe her, but at the same time it reminded me of Psych when he has to pretend, Sean Spencer, the very first episode, the pilot of Psych, he's being arrested because he knows too much about what's going on, and the only way he can justify his actions is to say he's a psychic. That's the only way he can know things. I was wondering if that was ever going to become her fallback because, well, she was wearing the scarf when she died. How do you know that? I was waiting for some sort of fill in the blank answer.
I wonder, like, maybe if in future books, I wonder if maybe she will do that. I haven't read any of the other books yet, but that would make sense. Like that could be a way to get around it. That's a good point. Yeah.
There's got to be something. My cat told me.
I love how the cat was her like, oh, I'm talking to my cat.
I mean, who else does that though? I mean, I talk to my dog like she full on understands.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. So I mean, that's not atypical.
I talk to myself. So I don't know. I might seem weird to people already.
I mean, she definitely had, you would think after a certain point, she would kind of get a little bit of a system down with our ghost Charlotte of, okay, you can talk to me, but I'm going to be looking over this way so people don't think I'm looking at the air. She never really got a system down of, okay, the ghost is talking. Yeah. I'm going to be talking to her and people are going to think I'm having a one-sided conversation with my brain and there's multiple personalities going on there. So
Right.
she was kind of putting herself in some situations where I'm going, yeah, they're going to come after you with those butterfly nets pretty quickly if you don't find out.
Yeah. Yeah. And that, I think that really was like a big part of the humorous premise to this, you know, was that strange situation where she can't get away from this person. And it would be really hard though, if someone was being sassy to you and saying like snarky comments to you, it would be really hard to ignore that and just like grin and pretend to be listening to someone else. Like that would be hard. So I can understand that she hasn't quite figured it out yet.
Can we just acknowledge that this ghost was waking her up in the middle of the night? She reminds me of the little kid, like, are you awake? Are you awake, Mom? Like, come here, I need you.
She was so mean and annoying sometimes. But
I'll sing to you and wake you up. So she's haunting the one person who's supposed to help her instead of the ex-boyfriend or somebody. Yeah. She's haunting her helper.
Yep. And I mean, all that was entertaining. Like, I got kind of annoyed at Charlotte, but it was really entertaining. Like, both my child and I were laughing a lot, you know, so that even though like Charlotte, she kind of drove me crazy, it did definitely add a fun aspect.
She was a character. I know she's definitely a character for the book, but she just had that character. You're going, oh, okay, like you are unique. You are fleshed out. You have a lot of, you could tell the author gave her so much depth and she knew, okay, she has a background. This is the way I want to portray her. Yeah. And she was consistent from the very beginning to the very end. Yeah. And I had to look it up because I was curious if she was going to be the ghost throughout the entire series. So there are 8 books in total. And based on the blurb for book 8, she's still around.
Yeah, which I'm really curious about. This is one of the things I want to bring, because that was one of the questions my daughter had when the book ended. She was like, well, will Charlotte go away now? You know, because that's like, that was the reason that she was trying to solve it. So I also had to look it up and I was like, no, it looks like she's still there. So it'll be interesting to hear why she doesn't leave. I think she's probably just having too much fun. So she decides not to leave. But like you were saying about depth, I also thought that too. You know, she wasn't just annoying. She wasn't just snarky. You know, there were a couple moments where you saw her sadness at like having her life be over and her, you know, frustration that, you know, something had happened to her. And so, yeah, I think the characters were, you know, were well delineated in this one. Well, the main characters, Marie and Cindy were both just really weird. And like kind of random and crazy. And Marie was like the shadiest person I've ever heard. Like right away, I was just like, someone just bought items at a sale and you are accosting them and telling them you want those clothes. That was so weird. It was so weird.
Oh, I'm just seeing the comments pop up. So yeah, people are commenting about why is she the only one who can see her? That's a good question too. We're gonna have to come back around to that.
Oh, that's another question that I had, and for some reason, it didn't like totally click with me until like I was looking over it a second time. Right towards the end, Valentine says to Cookie, "Cindy's going around town and telling everybody who will listen that Charlotte was with you at her house, and she saw her as plain as I see you now." So that actually made it sound like Cindy did see something. So I wonder if in the future books, if anything, you know, comes of that at all, because it seems like maybe somebody else did sort of see her. I don't know.
Except Heather, the one person claiming that she can communicate
Except
with the
psychic.
Except our fake psychic.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. And Heather seems like a very nice person, a good friend, but she's a sham.
I will say though, I going back to your Cindy Marie reference, we have to talk about these women because, okay, as far as I am concerned, we had 3 suspects with this book. Yeah. So we had the ex-boyfriend, Bud, who was just very weird and inappropriate the first time we meet him.
Yeah.
He had photos of himself framed all over his house. So that was very odd to me. Yeah. We have Marie, who is the former business partner, and then we have Cindy, who Charlotte originally pledged money to Cindy's charity, but then withdrew that pledge when she realized Cindy was siphoning money from the charity. So those were our three suspects as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I agree. And then there's the added confusion of the mysterious men who are potentially following Cookie, which, I mean, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and say we learn in the end that they were actually private investigators. But here's what I'm feeling a little weird about is that, like, I mean, I don't know how private investigators interact with local law enforcement. I don't have experience in that, but I thought it was kind of weird that, like, the first private investigator who gets murdered in the book, we forgot to mention him. He gets murdered. Like, and we find out it was because he was about to solve the case. Like, why didn't he share anything with law enforcement? And he was with an agency with these other two gentlemen. Why didn't they, like, communicate at all with law enforcement? Because I feel like maybe the mystery could have been solved sooner if these men were, like, doing their job better. But
I will say they did go beyond the scope of what is quote unquote legal, because they did break into Cindy's house at one point. So maybe that was why they didn't communicate with the police, because they would have had to have disclosed their methods. And I just heard fireworks. So people are apparently really celebrating Halloween outside.
And Lady Gizmo's mentioning that the PIs were working for an insurance company. So they were, they had a very legitimate reason. So again, that seems like they would be talking to the police. But you're right. Maybe they're just too shady.
We also just point out when Charlotte had to say, yeah, it's the PI company. The PI is working for the insurance. They're the ones who are going to solve my mystery. Nobody else cares about my murder. But
I know. Yeah, she's like, oh, great. The insurance company is the only people who care I'm dead. That was very sad.
The poor thing. But at least they also grounded. So they even acknowledged that they were friends or associates with Edward. So at least we know people did care that Edward was murdered, because otherwise you wouldn't really get that vibe from this book. You just focus on Charlotte.
Yeah, he's like so cast to the side. Nobody's talking about him or anything. Speaking of, like, suspicious behavior, so we've got the private investigators acting suspiciously. We've got Marie trying to take people's clothes that they bought away from them. And then Cindy too. She was at her house with somebody and she just left them there. She just, like, left her house. Now, I mean, if she did see Charlotte's ghost, maybe that's why. She's like, oh my gosh, there's a ghost, I'm leaving. But it was still weird.
That was actually the moment where I knew it wasn't Cindy. Because nobody who has evidence in their house is going to leave you to go sleuthing and looking around. And I mean, she left this woman unattended to go through everything. So there wasn't anything for her to hide, or at least there wasn't anything she had to be worried about in regards to our leading lady. So if she was our killer, she would not have left her alone. So that was when I just sort of wrote her off my suspect list.
Yeah, no, that is a really good point. Yeah, it was so weird, but it also helped us solve the mystery.
Well, I kind of was curious. It felt as if she was originally trying to set it up so that the creepy men in suits abducted Cindy or something. I didn't know where that was going because she just left the door open. But I guess once you have that, okay, she saw the ghost, she just ran for the hills.
Yeah, right. And of course, we don't get that idea until the very, very end. So for the rest of the time, we're just like, oh, this is so weird. Yeah.
Okay, so other people were going, this is really strange. Oh, yes, and thank you. The scene where they accidentally call his mother.
She accidentally starts having a video call with Cindy's mom.
So I'm trying to remember which one of these little post-it notes it is, because there was when she was trying to figure out the password, she goes, okay, it's got to be the name of the cat. What's the name of the cat? Okay, is it Buttons? Is it Boots? The name was Marmalade. But naturally, that's exactly the same as Boots and Buttons. I don't know how you go from Boots and Buttons to Marmalade. That was just hysterical. I was laughing so hard because I listened to that with the narration, and that was just spot on. I'm going, oh my goodness, that was great.
Yeah, there were so many funny moments like that. And I think there's some cozy mysteries that push like almost towards like the slapstick side, and to different levels of ridiculousness, I think. And I think this was on that plane, that there were those kind of slapstick moments, those humor moments, and that's like the center of what the mystery, or not the mystery, but the book is. That's what it's about, is that humor and that kind of slapstick feel. Yeah.
You can tell sometimes too when an author goes back and goes, okay, I'm going to throw a joke in there, or I'm going to try and add some levity, but it was throughout the entire narrative. It wasn't just, okay, we're going to insert this here, or we're going to, try and make this a little less dark over there. It was very consistent, and I found that very impressive.
Yeah. And Carly's saying, and I agree with this, it can be hit or miss, and even sometimes for me, I found books in the same series written by the same person. One will work for me, that humor and that ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And then the next one by the same person, I'll be like, oh no, this isn't working for me. So yeah, it is hit or miss. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I think it worked in this one. I think that's really what made this one fun. I think there were a couple things about the case. We've kind of already talked about the weird acting suspects. And can we talk about like the murder weapon and stuff now? Towards the end, like the way things were resolved, I was a little bit like, for one thing, the scarf, which is the murder weapon, we find out when Cookie goes to the store where the scarf was purchased, the woman there says, I only had 2 of these. Charlotte bought one of them, and Cindy bought the other. So we know, okay, she had 2 people bought it. But then at the end of the book, when Cookie's explaining why she figured everything out, she said they were rare collectibles. And so she knew there could only be 2. But I was like, well, just because the lady at the store only had 2 of them, it doesn't mean they're rare collectibles. I thought that was kind of like a disjunct. But my big thing was, the whole reason this is solved is because Heather is a dumpster diver.
Yeah. I was waiting for that to come up in one of the comments. I just realized I got makeup on my shirt. I apologize.
And she just happened to be checking out people's garbage and found the murder weapon scarf and the handkerchief, this mysterious handkerchief that ties everything together. And they weren't even in someone's garbage. They were just sitting next to the garbage conveniently. So she was able to pick them up. It was like, how would that happen? And if Marie is like constantly, assaulting people, trying to get their clothes because she's so worried about where is this scarf murder weapon that I committed murder with? And it just happens to be next to her garbage can. Like, how would that happen? How could that happen? So that was just, as Jay is saying, a little bit of a stretch.
So I realized very quickly with the murder weapon, once that was revealed, I'm going, okay, but if the scarf was owned by her, of course her DNA would be on it. So it's not really going to prove anything. And you were friends with her, or you worked together, so you could always write off why your DNA was on the scarf. So I don't really think it should have been that big of a deal.
Right. And how did you not know if it was right by your garbage? Like, how could that happen? You're searching the town for this scarf that's just next to your garbage can. Yeah.
This was weirdly also not the first cozy mystery to involve dumpster diving. I think it was Murder She Knit that had a dumpster diver where she's picking up furniture and stuff.
Yeah. Pamela's doing it less in her old age, I've noticed in later books. But yeah, that's a big thing.
I also felt really badly because I have those moments where, I have germophobia issues. So I would never really want to go buy vintage because I don't know, I would need to immediately clean that multiple times before I felt comfortable wearing it. But also I would never go dumpster diving. So I have a very hard time relating to that component of this book.
Well, thank goodness Heather did.
Somebody's within like arm's reach at all times. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going dumpster diving. I'm sorry. I mean, Heather, if she went, I hope she took a shower and washed that scarf afterwards.
Sounded like she didn't want it anymore after she found out it was a murder weapon. I think it kind of turned her off after that.
Well, I mean, she might not be psychic, but I'm sure the karma or bad juju vibes definitely got to her.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay, so other people were saying they're not going to go dumpster diving either. So
No
I'm
dumpster
not
diving.
alone.
You might solve a murder, but
Like a garbage scarf.
a murder that private investigators and the police were nowhere near solving. I mean,
Okay, you guys are making me feel better because I mean, it seemed very normalized that dumpster diving was a thing, and I picture those cop shows. There are multiple shows. I remember on The Mentalist, they were going, okay, 1, 2, 3, you're going dumpster diving. Like they were trying to do, you know, rock, paper, scissors for it. I mean, nobody wants to go dumpster diving on the cop shows. That's the rookie's job because they don't want to dive in there. And so to have sleuthers doing it, just not even looking for evidence, they're just doing it because I'm going, okay, we're not touching that one.
It's unique, and people are talking about some of the items that like were for sale and how Charlotte was commenting on her items and how she was like, oh, don't buy that. I ate bad shrimp. The stains came out, but Lady Gizmo's mentioning that like, oh, that's so gross.
This is my comment. I would get the hazmat suit. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, that depends on the dumpster.
Right.
That's a fair comment.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. Okay, if there's pasta and pizza and stuff all over versus actually in the trash, okay, I'll give you that one. I like how we're getting very analytical about this.
I know. It's fascinating to think about. But and I mean it's the reason the mystery gets solved. So we have to think about it, really.
I'm also curious if Heather, she's probably going, and we're done with this pastime. This hobby is done now.
Maybe.
I can't really picture her wanting to go in the garbage again because again, murder weapon. But at the same time, you solve the mystery, the murder. So it's a little bit of a give and take.
Oh yeah, that is another thing that makes this unique. So we can give it that, you know. What did you think of? I kind of already like slipped it out that Marie is the murderer with the scarf. What did you think of, you know, her motive for murder and like the what all happened with that?
So we have our three. Bud had Charlotte, Bud had his ex-girlfriend, and again, they are ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, but they're not together at the end of her life.
No,
so we had the insurance component, but that was Marie trying to set Bud up. So his motive wasn't even actually really his motive. It was Marie pushing that upon him. So she embezzled money, and apparently Charlotte was going to realize that money was gone missing and siphoned from the account. And so that was when Marie decided to take it upon herself to end Charlotte's life, which that was an impromptu murder. So it wasn't at least she didn't plan it in advance, going, okay, this is how I'm gonna kill you. So you know that emotion took over, but at the same time, we're going, okay, maybe you could have at least paid it back, or maybe done your time, or this is white collar stuff. So I'm not really sure if maybe it would lead to murder. I don't know, but I'm also not somebody who would do that. I would just
do that, yeah. And
I would be the one being killed because I would have realized it.
Do you think Marie and Bud were in some kind of relationship and that's why she convinced him to do it? I couldn't tell really.
So Marie apparently, based on what Charlotte said, did have the skills to market and get the job done. So maybe Marie was more persuasive before she went crazy with killing and started trying to buy stuff off people on the street. I think once Marie entered the killer stage of her life, her IQ just went downhill apparently, because based on what Charlotte said about who her business partner was, that was not the character we were seeing. That woman, we were seeing a very unstable Marie versus I'm going to sell you real estate.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that woman to sell me anything. Not a candy bar, not a Girl Scout cookie box, nothing.
Oh, okay. Lady Gizmo says, I think Marie used Bud to do her dirty work. Oh, bye, Laura. So maybe they didn't have like a relationship. She just was able to manipulate him somehow, and to cover the murder. Yeah.
To be fair, Bud doesn't exactly seem like he'd be very difficult to manipulate.
No, yeah, he's not the smartest, and no.
She was embezzling, so but again, that's one of those. That's her motivation to try and hide her scheme and do the cover up. Yes, embezzling is bad, but she hadn't actually done anything super wrong yeah, it's bad, but murder, she went from white collar crime to hardcore killer very quickly. She made a big jump.
And see, now Marta's asking, are we supposed to think Bud put the scarf by her trash? I don't think so, but I don't know that we're supposed to, like, what is the reason that scarf ended up by the trash? Like, how I don't know.
Well, we had the 2 scarves, but then we had the 3 handkerchiefs,
right?
Which was also throwing me off a little bit because I was trying to figure out, okay, scarf, yes, murder weapon. Did she smother her with the handkerchief after the fact? Like, what was that?
Yeah. And then, of course, there was one conveniently in her house, just laying out there.
Naturally.
So maybe she didn't know.
Honestly, I think Cindy, both of them had the same motivation, with money being the key here. So we had Marie, who was embezzling with the company, hence that's why she's the ex-business partner. But then Cindy was embezzling from a charity, and somehow embezzling from a charity seems much worse. I mean, yeah, they're both bad.
Yeah.
But you're taking money away from people who really need it. That one, I mean, when you're going in front of the court, somehow I think you're going to get more time.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
That's why Edna was saying, did that crazy woman bother you? And no, she was not talking about Charlotte.
Right.
Oh my goodness. There's so many comments.
There's lots. I know, I'm reading all these comments. But yeah, I mean, I guess in the end, we just have to accept it, that it's a good thing the scarf was left by the garbage and that Heather wanted to look at garbage, because that's the only reason that it was solved.
And I'm glad I'm not the only person who would abstain from dumpster diving. I mean, I felt badly going, am I so out of the, I couldn't relate to that at all. I mean, yeah, maybe if a friend was doing it or something, I'd be going, okay, yeah, you did that, but I'm not going on your next vacay with you. Like, you're not vacay, but like your next, event where you're going, tomorrow we're going dumpster diving. Tomorrow we're doing brunch. That's different. So also we had her, where'd it go? Was her name Dottie? The woman who was the second mother. Yeah. I thought it was really cute, the moment when she asks her, do you believe in ghosts? And she believed that she was talking to Charlotte.
Yeah, I liked that. But that was almost right towards the end as well, which was interesting. I was like, oh, this seems like a really nice character who could have a good influence and help this person. I wonder why she showed up like at the very end. But yeah, no, she seemed nice. And so it seems like she's got, a couple people now that she can talk to about Charlotte. And clearly Charlotte, since we know the series continues and we looked at the blurbs and saw her name still, Charlotte's still around. So at least she'll have some people to talk to about her situation.
It was cute that it was her pancake order that convinced Dixie, going, how did you know that? Because she knew about the no butter with extra syrup. Yeah. She believed her very quickly, which somehow seemed very sweet to me. Yeah. I liked the fact that there wasn't a lot of convincing or, okay, now I'm going to ask you this question, or, oh, only Charlotte will know the answer to this. The fact that she said yes to believing in ghosts and then believed that, okay, yes, this is what's going on. It didn't take too long. It was very quickly. So maybe, again, that was the type of chapter where they're all very succinct. But even that scene to me felt like it moved along at a very good pace. So I like Dixie. I'm going, oh, yeah, please don't kill her off in any books. I'll be very upset.
Right. Yeah. No, I liked her too. She was good. In general, I think probably besides the suspects, who all, were not very attractive people, I think we did get quite a few nice characters in this book that, you know, you would enjoy continuing to read about, that you would not mind seeing again in future books, and maybe you want to learn more about them in future books. So that's nice. I thought the characters were well set up. The one thing I would have liked to be able to visualize more would be the setting. I mean, I got the Southern flair and charm aspect of it for sure, but I didn't get as much of a sense of the town quite yet, even though I know she drove around and described the scenery a little bit, but the setting didn't like totally latch on to me, like the feel of the town quite yet. So I would be interested if in future ones, if the setting and the town are developed a little more.
Yeah, because I think we had the moment where we were almost going to get the town vibes with the festival, but then we find the body, and so then the festival is cut short.
Right.
So I'm thinking maybe in another book when they finally do have some sort of town event, hopefully without murder, or maybe the murder happens after the event is ended.
Yeah.
So I definitely thought it was a cute setup, because I wrote down the name of the town because I didn't want to forget, because we have Detective Valentine, again, cute name for the cop. So he was from Atlanta. So they're it's all set in Georgia. But what is the name of the town? I wrote down. Oh, Sugar Creek. So it's a cute name for the little town.
Yeah.
So I think we also, again, I understand the logistics of this, of having Heather's store be right next to excuse me, I was going to say Charlotte's, but it's actually Cookie. So Cookie has its Vintage Y'all, and it's right next to Heather's occult bookstore, or just store in general. She has books, but she has the occult store right next to it. So instead of having it be across town, or, oh, I'm going to walk by my coffee shop and XYZ to get to Heather's store, they're right next to each other. So that saves time, but that also takes away some opportunities to explore the town, because you're on the way to go talk to Heather versus just opening the door. So I can see both sides of it. I mean, it works out very well for streamlining, but at the same time, it kind of takes away some other opportunities.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you're looking for.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, we need Windsong's character. We need the entire breakdown of this psychic cat. Can we also just acknowledge the cat is I'm sorry, but the cat is making sentences at like a second or third grade level. This is not just a cat who's communicating. This is a cat who's doing complete sentences and is making jokes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely more. We did not learn, I don't think, the truth about Windsong yet. I've got to believe that is discussed in future books. Yeah.
The cat was your favorite character. The cat was adorable.
The cat was.
I mean, pets, they're always going to be the highlight of whatever scene they're in, because they're so sweet and innocent. But this one was trying to save her.
Yeah.
And I'm really curious how this cat plays into future mysteries. I almost want to go read the rest of the book series for a character that is going to be communicating to me with the Ouija board.
Yeah, right.
Tarot cards.
Yeah. And people were saying, I think in a next book there's another ghost. So we have Charlotte still, but we also get the added interest of, like, you know, if someone else is murdered, then that ghost bothers her now too. So that's a good idea, I think, to add a little bit of variety so that there's always something new.
It's also really clever, because I always have that. I've mentioned this before in previous live streams. My biggest hang up and hiccup when it comes to cozy mysteries is when they're just looking over into the yard next door, just being very nosy or gossipy. If the ghost is coming to you and is literally going to haunt you until you solve their murder, yeah, I understand the motivation to insert yourself into the mystery, into the scene, and, you know, getting in the police's way maybe a little bit. I mean, at least that to me can make sense. I kind of like that premise.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it creates a great, you know, reason for the sleuth to, because that is sometimes a big problem. So yeah, no, I definitely think, and I think my daughter has already started reading the second one. So I'll have to see. Oh, that's interesting. Jay was saying Windsong could be her grandma.
There's definitely, they have to define, because Heather is the paranormal expert, even though she's the fake psychic. She has her occult books and she knows potions. So I was waiting for her to use the term familiar. Maybe she's going to do some research and find a way to figure out Winsong's powers or the depths of the powers. I think she's going to have to use her knowledge at some point to come up in future books.
Yeah. Well, Marta, now I've got to find out about this Billy Speaks. I haven't heard of this. Oh, man. That sounds interesting.
So I'm just going to throw this out there. I listened to it originally with the audio, and I absolutely loved how every chapter started with Cookie's savvy vintage fashion shopping tip, or Heather's heartfelt tip for getting rid of an unwanted ghost.
Yeah.
Because the tips were hysterical. Especially there's one where it's going, use a broom, and if it doesn't get rid of the ghost, at least your floors are clean.
I know. All of Heather's tips were hilarious and also like ridiculous.
Yeah. Happy. I just wanted to throw that out there because sometimes I feel as if when you're reading a mystery and you have something at the top like that, your eyes just kind of skim past it. You're going, oh no, I want to go read the narrative. I want to solve this mystery. Yeah. And so the fact that it was there and it was kind of right on point because it related to the fashion, which is part of the mystery and our leading lady's entire backstory. But then you also have Heather and the ghost component. So it's fun and it's cute and it keeps that kind of humor alive regardless of how the previous chapter ended. So I just really liked that they were consistent throughout every single chapter. And it was always one of the two. I don't think there's a third option in there. It was always one of either these fashion tips or Heather's ghosts.
I wonder how those continue in future books. Like if they're always, those two in future books or what. That might be interesting to find out.
So you guys want to teach your cats to step on buttons? That's great. So weirdly enough, I understood the cat saying no cheap cat food because my little girl, Daisy, she's the teacup Maltese. She has a refined palate. I am telling you, there are certain dog foods she will not go near. So I understand the cat being a little bit more persnickety about the food selections because Daisy will go sniff something and walk away. So at least the other Winsong was trying to eat the food. Might not have enjoyed it, but at least he ate it. Daisy doesn't even eat the food if she doesn't want it. So
that's awesome.
Throwing it out there. The cat definitely has a personality.
Yes. Well, yeah, lots of characters with personality in this. We've got ghosts. We've got cats. Speaking of characters, what was the poll for the policeman guy?
It says 100% said yes. So 24 votes for yes, you guys are Detective Valentine fans.
Oh my gosh. Has that ever happened? Wow. Everybody's in love.
So I am also so happy at the moment because there is no love triangle. I'm trying to do a triangle. I love the fact that we have the one relationship. It's kind of the slow build. He's crushing on her. She's crushing on him. You can see it's obvious, but at the same time, it's enjoyable and feels realistic. So I'm loving their relationship. I'm really happy with this one so far. So my little reader heart is very content with this cozy couple.
The poor guy was objectified quite scandalously at certain times, though. I mean, there's a lot of focus on his attributes, and Charlotte is very inappropriate when he's changing into his outfit. So poor guy.
He's very handsome. We've been informed multiple times throughout the course of this book how handsome he is. And also, we have to remember that it's okay to spy on a stranger. It's not okay to spy on someone you know, because that is Charlotte's logic. I don't understand it, but that is the logic of it.
Yeah. Charlotte got a little creepy there.
I'm sorry, but like me and love triangles.
Oh yeah, I can't. Sometimes that will actually make me just stop a book entirely and just be like, I'm sorry, it's not for me, because I just can't handle that kind of drama. Like
we've got murder on the table. I don't need your angst. Thank you very much.
Yeah. No, that's so true.
Well, I hope you thought of me fondly going, okay, we're just going to enjoy this couple and see where it goes versus I'm going to throw this book across the room very soon if she doesn't make up her mind. The worst is when I'm going to throw this out there. The worst is when you've read the first 3 or 4 books in a series and then this new guy comes along and then all of a sudden the leading lady or sleuth or something, she'll end up with him and I'm going, but I was there for the first X amount of books. Why was I invested in this relationship if we knew it was never going to happen? And then I'm just mad for the rest of the series, or I just stop reading. I don't know why. I get very emotionally invested in my characters. So when you pull the rug out from under me, it's hard.
Yeah.
Devastating. Yeah. That's when you need your Halloween candy to eat, because it's going to give you to satisfy those cravings of sweetness.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I mean, I would say this is something I probably wouldn't, I will probably read with my daughter. The future ones in this series.
Aside from the scandalous looking at him.
Right. Let's hope there's not too much more of that. I think it went over her head. But because she is interested in the cat, and she likes the humor, I think. So I think this is one that we would listen to the audiobook of more books. So I may end up reading more because we do them together, because she does, she gets series that she likes, and then we have binged this year several entire cozy mystery series because she likes, and I do think this might be one that she wants to stick with. So and that's fine. This isn't one that this book didn't necessarily, it wasn't a complex mystery or something that really got your brain, but it's unique. So I would recommend this to people looking for something humorous, unique, just fun. I think it could work for a lot of people.
I mean, I agree entirely with what you're saying, because I enjoyed it as a fun read. I wasn't going, okay, I'm looking at my Agatha Christie murder and my puzzle book over here, and we're going to make the pieces fit. I liked that I was able to just listen to it and laugh and have a good time. It definitely, someone before mentioned, I want to say there were comments up there who mentioned it being doing an adaptation for Hulu or Netflix or something, because I do think I agree with that. Sometimes I put on the Agatha Raisin or something because I want that fun background and that kind of idyllic look. And so I very much feel like this could be an adaptation somewhere along the line for either Hallmark or something else. So I would definitely recommend it. I'm going to keep reading the series. I'm game. 8 books is not intimidating. I can deal with 8 books.
Yeah, right. You can make it happen. Yeah. And I agree. It would be a fun one to see, just especially with like the outfits and stuff, to be able to actually see the vintage outfits. It would be fun. It would be visually appealing and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking of the Lori Loughlin. Again, we started reading. I love how there are 2 garage sale mysteries. There's the Kensington series, and there's the movie series for Hallmark. And the garage sale mysteries for Hallmark are different. And in that one, she has the best friend who dresses with the vintage fashion. And I was thinking of her when this book, I was listening to it on audio. I was actually picturing her character at some points going, yeah, they've already made this work previously. So I can definitely see that. And we get a little sneak peek with Cookie, our leading lady, saying that she's going to be a part of potentially a movie wardrobe and giving them advice with vintage fashion. So maybe there's people in Hollywood who are paying attention going, vintage fashion, we can do that.
Right. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yes, Jess, you were the one who mentioned it. Thank you for commenting again. Thank you. You commented above about Hulu and Netflix. I was going to go out and scroll for that comment.
Jay's talking about her children eating books. Yeah. I'd be willing to go back to that time too. It goes by too fast. But it's really fun. It's very fun to read together.
See, honestly, you guys are so cute. I mean, I'm dressing up my dog for Halloween with her little bumblebee costume. I'm like, I would dress up the kid. I'm like, oh, gotta have the baby just so you can dress them up for Halloween.
Oh yes, Jess is talking about the I want to see that, but I don't have Hallmark, so I don't get to watch any of these cute things. But I think Hoopla, the Hoopla app that some libraries have, they have a Hallmark binge pass that you can borrow. So then for like 10 days or something, you can watch Hallmark streaming. So I guess
I know Amazon Prime they have the add-on Hallmark edition. So I think it's either $4.99 or $5.99 a month. So if you want to go binge it and just utilize the free month trial or do 1 month with that, I think you can make a lot of Hallmark happen.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because I don't want to spend money. But yeah, maybe I might have to borrow it on Hoopla at some point because that's, free. And then I could watch it.
Oh, yeah. I actually missed it. I missed it live. So I was in DC at the time and I was trying to figure out if there was a way for me to watch it through the computer and I wasn't able to. So I ended up watching it later on because I had access to it with the other, whatever platform it was, because I've lost track at this point. There's Peacock and Hulu, and I know it's not on Netflix, so it's somewhere out there. I will look it up for you.
Yeah. Yes. The library is such a good resource.
Well, I have
especially. They have like so many of the cozy mysteries on audiobook and ebook. Like it's really, really good.
It's amazing. And then they have that, what is it, OneDrive, where you can just
or Libby.
So much. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Because I even again, like I actually still am registered with the DC library from when I lived in DC because you don't have to renew it like until every 4 years or something. And I remember when I joined, I'm going, I have access to all these audiobooks. This is so great. This is better than Audible.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like the kid in the candy store. Yes. You guys are reminding me. I actually just updated the Etsy because one of the stickers that you guys really liked was I'm a library lover. So I actually turned that into a magnet for y'all. So that's new. So that just happened.
Yay, that'll be so cute.
But because of this woman and her love of Deputy, we now have Deputy Donut stickers. So they're in their mail to Colleen now, but these have officially arrived. And Deb has Moriarty on the hat. So I thought that was just a really cute touch.
It's so cute. That is my child loves the Deputy Donut series so much. She loves the characters. We've read them all. She just loves them. And Ginger Bolton is so nice. She sent her a care package with a Deputy Donut hat. So we just love her so much. So thank you for making that sticker because that's so cool.
I thought, because you asked me before, because I had the rough drawing, and then when I had when I had Dep created, you're going, are they going to be stickers?
I know somebody who wants one.
Because I always have to do the trial of, because I use Sticker Mule, so I'll do the set of 10. I'm going, okay, I'm just going to place the order for this one. I'm not even going to do the trial. We're just going to place the order.
It's adorable.
Oh my gosh. Dep.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have
Dep is so cute.
Well, so this actually reminds me. So your second word for everybody who was here at the beginning to qualify for the surprise, the second word is ghost, shockingly enough. So spooky ghost. You can tell where my mind was with this book. Nice. So please type ghost, hit the ghost emoji, do whatever it is, because everyone who's been here tonight for the entire time, I know it's Halloween. You're celebrating the night. So it's October 31st. Somehow we're ending 2023 very soon. So our last live stream of the month is next month. And then we have the buddy read for December for 12 days of cozies. But I decided to do sticker sheets so that we have the 12 stickers. So you can use them on your planner. You can decorate them with whatever. Then you can have like the Christmas Moriarty for the 12th month. So you guys just won the sticker sheets. So if you've been here the whole time, these are coming your way. And so I have them ready to go. These now belong to you. So this was my surprise reveal. Again, I'm always telling you guys, I work on things behind the scenes. So this was one of the things where I had some trials done and I love the way it came out. So I hope you guys do too. So you guys now have your sticker sheets of Moriarty. So I'm very proud of you. I'm so happy.
So nice. That's so nice. How fun.
Well, so I actually had the thought because, again, I'm a planner. I have my new 2024 planner. I'm going, I want stickers. And I'm going, maybe they'd like this. So it was one of those light bulb moments. I think of Parks and Recreation where they literally brought the light bulb over. So Adam Scott said, I'm like, I think this was a really good idea. I think it came out nice. So I'm really happy with it. So I hope you guys like it too. So.
Yay. That is so nice. And then you were talking about the November live stream. Is that Sprinkle with Murder, the cupcake?
So I'm going to go pull this up. So yes. Okay, I love how I have all of these banners. I'm going, I got to go pull this. So we can officially hit another check mark for tonight. So it is so insane to me that we are almost done with 2023. So next month is Sprinkle with Murder. And then the following month is 12 Days of Cozies. And we have the buddy read for A Christmas Candy Killing by Christina Romero. So I am blown away that we are this far into 2023. And I almost forgot to mention that everyone who comments tonight, every comment is going towards a 3-book paperback giveaway. So one sleuther is going to win 3 cozy mysteries. So these, I'm going to pull it up right there so you guys can see the covers. So Murders of a Feather, Syrup to No Good, which actually I think just came out today. I'm pretty sure. And then Spoon to Be Dead. So one sleuther is winning all 3 books. So every comment tonight is entering you for this. So thank you, Poison Bin Press, for making this happen. So everyone is guaranteed a sticker sheet who's been here from the start to end. And then one lucky sleuther is getting all 3. So I'm saying this is a pretty good night for Cozy Mysteries.
That is a very good night. Yes, I know. And I agree. I can't believe it's the end of the year. And I'm super excited for our next 2 books. I've ended up reading a couple of the Cupcake Bakery series this year, but I haven't read the first one. So I'm excited to go back and read the first one. And I read A Christmas Candy Killing last year and I really liked it. So,
well, I'm going to pull it up right there. Right there. So Christina's in the comments. So she is actually the guest hostess for next month. And she's the author of our December read. And this woman has been a part of she's been a part of the Cozy Mystery Book Club for years. And when her book won, I was so excited because I got to see her go from reader to author, published author, not just author, but published author, not aspiring, full on published, represented, doing so well. And her book is so cute. It's so great. Yeah. I love it. And I'm so excited that her book is being featured. And the second one is I have my copy. I know ARCs are available. She's gonna have to tell us when it's being published. So I'm gonna have to look that up for y'all because
A Nutcracker Nightmare. I think a Nutcracker Nightmare already came out.
Okay. I know I have my copy because she was so kind and sent me one, and I was so honored. And I'm going, I know it's coming. I know there's a book 2. So get you guys ready with book 1 and book 2 there.
So book 2 came out in hardcover, I believe, but book 1 also just came out in paperback. And I got one I work at a bookstore, and I got one for the bookstore, Christina. So we've got your book in our store.
I love that. That's a perfect job for you. Like you can tell. I would want to go to the local bookstore if you were the one behind the counter.
It's so fun, and there's some Cozy Mystery fans out there, and I get to talk to them, and it's really fun.
So you actually just reminded me, Lynn. Thank you. So this was one of my little post-it notes. So the 2024 TBR voting ends tonight. So the votes are closed. So again, you guys are voting for all 12 months. So 11 months of live streams. And then the 12th month for December is going to be the buddy read again. So you guys are voting for 12 months right now. And of the 12, I want to say 5 of them are very, very close. So all of the votes are going to be very important tonight. So if you have not already voted, please do. I actually made an image. I got to go pull it up again. Where'd you go? Yes, there we go. So if you've not already voted, I got the QR code for you. You can go to the link tree, and it is the literal first link on the link tree. So if you haven't voted yet, please do, because tonight the voting ends and your votes do matter. Not exaggerating.
Yeah. Everybody should vote. It's a really easy Google form.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I tried to make it as visually appealing as possible too.
And I thank you for doing that, because like I don't use Twitter anymore. I think this really works, like having it all together. So yeah, I think it's great, and everybody should vote for sure.
Yeah, I think that this system worked out really, really well. I was nervous at first because it was a different system than what we had done previously. Yeah. But again, with Twitter being such an upheaval, let's just go with that phrasing. Yeah. And also the fact that people have issues sometimes with technology, or they don't have those accounts. So this way, all you need is an email address. That's just the way to guarantee that people aren't voting more than once. I'm not actually keeping track of who's voting and who's not. That's not why that's implemented at all. But it's just to make sure, like, okay, you voted, you're good, you're all set. You can I think you can actually do this as well, which is also why one of the emails, you can click get an email receipt. Like, yes, I voted. I have my completed form. I'm good.
Yeah,
so you
I
can
like
do that
that.
as well. So I think that this worked out. I'm good. I'm very happy with this.
Very good. Yeah.
I will say though, it took me a very, very long time to get that form put together because I tried to make it sound with the images. I had to link over everything with their Goodreads. So it definitely took a lot of time, but I'm glad that it was worth it. So yeah, I'm glad. I'd willingly do it again for next year. I just need to know that I'm spending the time on the right thing. That's all I care about.
Right.
So I'm just going to throw that up there one more time.
Loves it. Yeah, everybody vote if you haven't. Do it tonight.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for saying that. I'm glad you like the new system. Yay. It definitely, you know, I don't mind putting in the time for something. I just want to make sure that you guys are able to utilize it. You like it. I thought that this one went really well because I also changed it without asking like which platform you guys wanted. So I'm glad that you guys liked what ended up happening. So hopefully tonight when the voting ends, I'll be able to start doing the big reveals too.
Yeah, so exciting. That is one of the most exciting things is finding out the books for next year.
I don't know because I don't put my own picks in. I literally just take the books that you guys recommend and put them in there. I actually don't even want to vote because I don't want to impact or be like, oh, I'm rooting for this title and influence voting. So I abstain until the very end going, okay, I'm happy this one won, or, oh, I was hoping this one, but maybe next year we'll see. So I'm excited to see what the end results are going to be as well, because again, some of them are very close.
So many good cozies out there. So many good ones.
Well, I will say one of the reasons, so I'm glad you like the Google form. I will just say the reason I think Twitter was the first go-to was because one, it could last for an entire week, and two, the transparency of it. So I thought that was really important at first. Right. But again, everybody could see. Yeah. So I think that was part of what the allure was. But I can also eventually take screenshots, and hopefully at this point, you know, I'm not influencing, but doing anything with voting. Hopefully at this point too. Like, I mean, yes, I always tell you guys what's going on. I'm not really, I am very transparent about it. So I think like we'll be okay, and I'll take screenshots to demonstrate. But yes, I think that was also, you know, the start of the book club. People want to see so hopefully now we're
trust you.
I'm just laugh as Daisy makes a little noise in the background. Oh goodness. I'm trying to think if I had any other notes. So if you guys have anything else you wanted to comment on, whether it's a question about things coming up with the book club, or you want to get a comment in to make sure that you're entered to win the 3 books, whatever it is, now is your time, because I'm just looking down at the notes to make sure I covered everything. And so far, I think I have. But if there's something you wanted to ask, please do. Oh, you guys are so sweet. It's my pleasure. Yes. It's very, you guys are wonderful. I have to say, I received a couple really cute emails after the last email newsletter, and they just brightened my day so much because I had actually, I swear my dissertation, it's wreaked havoc with my you know, your mental state. It's been a lot. And so I got the email from one of you members, you know, it was really sweet. It just totally brightened my day. I'm going, oh, I did do something right.
Yes.
So it's very sweet. I'm glad you guys like what's going on.
Angela, could you remind us where we can buy stickers? Jay was asking.
So the sticker sheets are yours. That is just a gift from me. And so I finally updated the Etsy store. This is an older screenshot at this point, but that's the same information. Also, I've never looked at the reviews before because I always think, oh, if you celebrate, you know, your positives, you have to acknowledge the negatives. So I'd never looked, and they're all 5-star reviews. The comments are amazing. And like, I was in happy tears. It was so amazing. Aww. So the Etsy store is there. And again, full transparency. This is not a business. So if you order one sticker and you want like a certain bookmark or something, just put it in the comments and I'm going to send it your way. I always make packages. I mean, I got you covered. So if there's something else you want, just make a note.
So the Etsy store that you have linked, that's where.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so their Etsy, it's also available. You can also get the same link with the link tree. I also include it in the email newsletter. Again, I can't believe that it's the final day of October. So I've been working on the November email newsletter, and it's going to have links to, again, the updated Etsy, because again, I knew that you guys wanted the Deputy Donut stickers. So I included the link in that newsletter. So I've got you covered.
Nice.
But yeah, I didn't want to make any profit on it. So it's, even though it's technically set up as the Etsy store, it's not really a store. I think I told y'all with the Zazzle, I think I make 1 penny on things, and just because they need you to make a profit on something. So it exists, but that's not why I do it.
Did you see Jess's cat is psychic?
Oh my gosh.
Because there's a cat psychic quiz at the end.
Yes, and we almost forgot to
5 out of 8.
We almost forgot to include our little psychic cat.
I love it.
The fact that you actually did it and you had the results is amazing. You just made me so happy.
Pretty awesome.
Was there anything else with the book you wanted to mention? Anything?
No, I think I'm looking at my list and I think I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. Yep. And anything that my daughter wanted to report to everybody about. So, yeah.
Your daughter's so sweet. I love that you guys read cozies together. That is just adorable. Built-in buddy read.
Oh, yeah, Meason, I don't know if the audiobook had the quiz or not. I can't remember.
I don't think it did, actually.
Yeah, sometimes the audiobooks leave off some of those last things.
So, especially when it's
Jess is going to post the quiz on Insta. So then everybody can see if their cats are psychic.
Well, because even then, too, it has the list from the blog as well, as I'm trying to angle, like, okay.
Yeah, at the very end. And that's after,
yeah.
That's after, like, a preview of the next book in the series, too.
Yeah. So there's some things that don't really, yeah. But it's okay. That's what... Even then, you got to enjoy the amazing audio. It was a great audio.
Oh, yeah.
So even if it was left off, you're okay.
Yeah, it was very good. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. You guys are so sweet. So if there are any more questions, now is your time to ask them. I'm just going to pull up the images one more time to see if there was anything else I uploaded, and I just forgot to mention it to y'all. So we have Colleen's information. I just want to make sure I put this up there one more time at I Like Old Books 1213. And so I deliberately did this because last year we had the Fairy Garden Mystery Series and Fairy Wings. So I put butterflies for her. So I did that very deliberately.
I love that. Yes, I've been a witch. I've been a fairy. This year, I'm, channeling the ghosts from the Haunted Mansion. I love it. And now I can't wait to find out what next year will be for October.
I know. So the voting ends 11:59 p.m. EST. Very spooky, right before November 1st for all you NaNoWriMoers, whatever, however that word is. I don't know. And then again, if you're looking for your own little Halloween fun stuff, I've been working on the magnetic bookmarks, and Emily was kind enough to give the code. Okay. So if you want to save 15%, and then we have the 3 books. And so okay, I am going to throw this out there. This is a fun little reveal because you guys have been here, and I'll just do the reveal. So I did a number of interviews when I was at Malice and BoucherCon, and I've had the hardest time doing and editing footage. So I actually full on made notes of how long it took me. So my interview with this particular author was 21 minutes long. It took me 4.5 hours to edit and get this thing ready to go for y'all. Wow. So officially the very first Tuesday of the month now, you can start expecting interviews to be dropping over on the YouTube channel, starting with Amanda Flower. So the Amanda Flower interview is dropping November 7th. I actually set it as a premiere, so you can look forward to it, set the bell, the reminder. So that is happening.
Thank you. So that's exciting.
I have the footage, and I'm finally doing things with it. So I'm very happy to make that reveal.
Awesome.
You guys are the first to know. Very first big reveal.
The Magical Bookshop series is one of the series my daughter and I binged this year. It's so cute. It's so much fun. Oh, that's exciting. Can't wait to hear what she has to say.
So, because you're you, and I adore Colleen here. I love her, guys. So last year we did A Sprinkling of Murder. The author was Daryl Gerber. Her interview is going to drop on January 2nd.
Nice. Yay.
So that one's already in the queue as well. And my goal, I don't know if I should tell you my goal. If I am not able to achieve it, I'll be very, very sad. But she's here in the comments. I interviewed our November guest hostess, and December author Christina Romero.
Oh,
So my
yay.
goal is that the first Tuesday for December is Christina's day. So I want it to be Amanda for November, Christina for December, and then Daryl for January. So right now, that's where we're at. I really hope I can achieve that. But Christina and I, we had the best time chatting. So if it took me 4.5 hours to edit a 21-minute interview, an hour something interview definitely is taking me longer.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited.
But I want to get it done because she deserves it. And I want the timing to be perfect because it just goes hand in hand with everything else we're doing. So that is my goal. I hope to do that. So fingers crossed that actually becomes feasible and it's doable, but I'm working on it.
Yay. That's exciting.
Yes. So again, the things that go on behind the scenes, you guys finally are totally in the know, the big reveals. So I hope you guys like what I've been doing and working on. So shout out for Christina.
Yay.
It's coming. It's in the works.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh. You guys are so cute. I wasn't looking at the comments because I was looking to see if there's anything else to post. Oh, now I'm blushing. Yes, thank you. Martyr was actually part of a Chatting Cozies. We did a review of a book. I still need to edit the audio for that. Things are happening behind the scenes, even if I don't always tell you guys. Things are working. So the Chatting Cozies is going to be updated for the first time on November 7th with Amanda Flower, but that's not the last time. More things are coming with Chatting Cozies, and Marta's episode is going to be included in that.
Nice.
So again, you guys know everything now. Oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. Yeah, I'm a perfectionist, so that's why it also takes a very long time. I get everything down to the timing. I also will do the inserts so that if someone references a book, I'm going to include the book's title right there so that it goes exactly with when they say it, and the image is going to dissolve away. So it takes a long time, especially because you then have to always stop to go find the images. Sometimes the images aren't great, then you get a screenshot, and then you got to rewatch things to make sure that you're editing correctly. It just adds up very quickly. Yeah. So these are worth it, though. I just need to make sure that it gets done. That's the whole thing. It just takes a lot of time, but once it's done, it's done. So yeah. I'm happy to do the reveal and share.
That's awesome.
Oh, I'm glad you guys.
Yes, we love book club.
Oh, thank you.
Such nice people.
I don't want to hold Colleen hostage on Halloween because she does have her little girl who I'm sure wants to spend some time with mommy, and mommy is all dressed up, so we have to do some photos together. But if there's any other comments, questions, queries, concerns, please add them now, because otherwise I'm going to start making sure that Daisy is in her Bumblebee costume so that I can show y'all. I'll have to do that before the end of the night. But thank you guys for taking time out of your Halloween. So in order to get the sticker sheet, as I showed you guys before, simply send me an email. I'm going to include it right here. So my email for y'all is writerahart, A for Angela, heart, H-A-R-T, @gmail.com. So I'm going to include it right there. So send me, just literally drop an email and say, I was a part of the live stream. Here's my mailing address. Stay cozy. Whatever you want to do, just send me an email with your address and I got you covered. So if you can do that in the next week or so, hopefully if you can do it in a couple days, that would be better. But if you can do it sometime this week, that would be absolutely amazing. So just send me an email with your information and I will get your sticker sheet sent out your way. So be all good, all set.
Yay.
Is there anything else you wanted to add? Anything about the book or comments or?
No, I'm good. Yeah, I think it was a good discussion. Fun to talk about this one. A fun book.
Oh, I'm glad you guys seem to enjoy the book. I am definitely there for the Detective Valentine relationship.
Yeah, everybody.
I have more questions about Windsong, so I am probably going to be reading book 2 and 3 and so on. So I'll keep you guys posted on that as well. But thank you so much for joining on Halloween night. I hope you guys have enjoyed the conversation. You enjoyed our book. You can join next month. We're going to be joined by Christina, who might or may not be here in the comments. But next month, Christina, and I'm going to pull it up again to make sure you guys have the image. It's A Sprinkling of Murder, wherever it is. There it is. So next month is A Sprinkling with Murder. So hopefully you guys are going to be able to join us the last Tuesday of the month, because that is our last live stream for 2023, which is mind-blowing. So this is the second to last one. Next month, I'm going to have to do something special to make it epic. So I'm going to have to start working on some ideas for that as well. But thank you to Colleen for joining. Seriously, guys, if you're not already following her on Instagram, please go check out her account. She's always recommending books. She's just always posting something so sweet. She has the best captions too. She's very intricate, detailed book reviews. I swear, it's like reading a great blog post every single time she posts on Instagram. It's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you everybody for joining in and chatting. Nice to see familiar names and new names too. Hi, Anita. So yeah, thank you everybody. It was really fun to talk with you.
Oh, thank you, Colleen. And thank you guys for joining. I hope you guys have a great rest of the night. If you have trick-or-treaters, I hope you have plenty of candy left over and you're able to enjoy some special treats yourself. But please take care of yourselves and stay kind and creative and happy reading, writing, and sleuthing. Have a nice night, everybody. Bye.